Hey team, this is Tiger Dave, and what we're going to do is take a real quick look at some Ret mentorship that I'm going to be doing with a friend because they have some questions about Ret. So I wanted to show them a little bit about what I do. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got. We're going to go ahead and start a Torghast Layer 8, but before we jump in on this one here, let's take a look. First off, my gear is nothing special. My weapon is 190. My gear score overall is 194, so I'm not topping the charts. I don't have any buffs on here, and I got Dark Moon deck, Veracity, and I've got the Macabre sheet music as my trinket. So nothing really fantastic. I even still have a blue ring on. Okay, so kind of average character for normal work. What I'm working on right now is I've got Execution Sentence. Okay, which is this ability down here. We'll talk about that in a minute. I've got Blade of Wrath, Blinding Light, Cavalier, Divine Purpose, Healing Hands, and Final Reckoning. In my opinion, Final Reckoning is going to be the cornerstone for what you're going to be doing, because what this does is it takes your Holy Power abilities to 11 for 8 seconds. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to fire off our Final Reckoning as a precursor or stage setter for the damage that we're going to do after that. I did go Kyrian, so I have Divine Toll on that one, which also drops a big whomping bonk on the head, so I like that as well. The final thing, and this is something that I do, is I do have a Razor Naga mouse. So I have a couple of keys preset on here because it just makes my life easier. I have a macro for the Final Reckoning, okay, and it's just simply cast bracket at cursor, close bracket, Final Reckoning. And what that means is wherever I put my mouse, that's where Final Reckoning is going to drop at. And that's pivotal for just making my life easy. I do that with most of my aim and fire areas like that. If it's something that is going to put a circle on the ground, I almost always have it rigged to a macro so I can get in there and get that executed ASAP. So we're going to do a Fractured Chambers Layer 8. I need to get in this anyways to get a memory that I'm still missing. So we're going to go ahead. I'm not super well geared. I'm probably a little bit below geared for Fractured Chambers, and we're going to get in on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick up our ability. I like when you reach 5 Holy Power, you get Blessing of the Dawn and then Blessing of the Dusk. So we're going to run that. We're going to come up here, and I'm going to grab the bad guys.
Even a harvester of pride does not deserve to languish here. Save the Venthir from this fate.
And that didn't do what I wanted it to do. I'll just go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and spend this one right here. We're just going to load up our Holy Power. Okay? We're not really, because these are minions, I kind of want to show you something with the big chonkies. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to take this guy right here, and I'm going to see if I can pull him without grabbing the other one, just simply to make life easy for me. Okay, got it. Alright, so as he comes up, right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to Final Reckon. I'm going to go to Divine Toll, and I'm just going to commence to wood. Dude came up on me, so we're going to go ahead and go here, and you're going to have to make some choices, right? When it comes to these things, you're going to have to make some decisions on, do you go for damage with your abilities, or do you go for Word of Core and get your deal? Okay? Another thing that you'll want to do is that we're doing Final Reckoning. If you can precursor that with your Execution Sentence beforehand, that's going to give you even more oomph when you go to hit your damage, because what it does is it gives you that much more zing, because what execution sentence does is it stores your holy damage while you're doing that, and then when it hits, it's gonna do a big chunk of damage off of that. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try this again. I'm gonna pick him. I'm gonna throw execution sentence. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna get a couple hits on. I'm gonna go you, womp, and he's down. Okay, look at this. 5.2k off of that stack of damage. So the trick with Ret Paladin is it's all in your rotation. It's all in how you stack your powers and you get things going on. You know, as you start pushing for some of the bigger content and the bigger monsters, you'll want to make sure you have things like Consecrate, which is doing damage over time. You've got your execution sentence on your big boss. You've got Final Reckoning going on. You drop a Divine Toll, and then you rotate into your build spend rotation. When you need to, you drop an Avenging Wrath. And this is something to watch also, because for some reason, every time I come into Torghast, it keeps resetting this. You didn't see it when I came in. It was one of those things I was saying to myself that I needed to do, but I forgot to do it. So make sure you get that too. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and scoop these bad boys out. Okay? We're just going to go ahead and we're going to come in. We are going to walk you. And we're just, I'm not going to do the execution sentence because it's just too much. In that I wasn't ready to do the, come on, where are you at? So I wasn't ready to, I didn't have the holy power built up in order to execute that. But, you know, womp womp womp, look, 3.4k on a nothing paladin at 194 with a 190 weapon. It's really not that difficult. So when you take a look at those things, again, remember it is all in rotation. So let's go ahead and take a look at our stack again. Again, I have execution sentence. This one is going to be that big holy damage womp. And since I'm doing holy damage, why not have a big womp coming after that? I've got Blade of Wrath, triggered Blinding Light. This is a great, I've got that tied into my mouse. That's a great stun, crowd control when you got a lot of damage coming in, you just need to control things. I like Cavalier. If you're really concerned about taking hits, you could go Unbreakable Spirit, but I like to run Cavalier because I want to get to where I'm going in there. I have Divine Purpose. Holy Power abilities have a chance to make your next Holy Power Executor free, and since we're doing a bunch of build and spend techniques with that, alright, so here we go. Execution. Okay. I'm going to put you in, put you in, womp. Okay. 14k. Okay. So you're just looking at, or I think it's 1.4k. What did I have to have? 14k. I don't know. I saw it there for a second, got excited. It might have been 1.4 and then balanced out. Kicker on this one is just to stack your abilities in the proper order. Okay? When you come into Torghast, you're going to be looking for powers. In my opinion, you want powers that reduce the amount of holy damage you're spending. Okay, so I could increase crit damage and healing by 12%, or I can increase Phantasma. For me, Phantasma is almost always going to be the choice when I have options on that, because it's going to give me more juice when I get to the shopping floors, which would be floors 3 and 6. So hopefully that helped you kind of see what I'm doing. Again, I'm not the best paladin in the world. This is just simply how I chose to interpret the game. I don't have anything fancy. I am using the Mad Paragon, which Hammer of Wrath deals an additional 30% damage and extends the duration of Avenging Wrath. So this one here, Hammer of Wrath, that's our big strike on that one. Avenging Wrath, it's going to stretch that out. It gives me more Avenging Wrath damage. So, excuse me. So that's just it. It's not very complex, but it does require you to execute in order. And I think that if you do that, you're going to find out that you're going to do really, really well. Okay. So again, somebody came up on me, and I don't have holy power. That was the final reckoning, and divine. Divine Toll just womps, right? And Divine Toll is a great thing to drop down on an AoE as well. So we're going to go ahead and do this. And I have, this is the racial ability for me, because I'm using Lightforge for now. And this is just sloppy play right there. I'm not even trying to be very complex with it. Okay. You're just going to, it's just a build spend mechanic. And it's not very difficult.
Thank you, Lord Walker.
It's not complex. And when I think of things, what I'm saying is, I don't want you to think I'm saying you don't know what you're doing. What I'm saying is that the rotation is easy to execute. It's not a difficult rotation. Shadow Priest, on the other hand, that's kind of a different story. That's a little bit more difficult. You have a lot of damage enhancers that you have to trigger, and then you have to trigger your your big damage spells, and it can be kind of squirrely. So let me see what we've got here. Nothing fancy, and really, to be honest with you, 4-1 on there's some kind of execution. See how easy that was? So we just took a kind of a mini boss down just by making sure that we layered our abilities right. So I hope that helps, and you are free to pester me at any time, and we can get together and get on Discord and talk about it. But I hope that's going to help kind of paint the picture for you. And I have to be honest with you, I've been able to top damage charts in the dungeons that I sign up on by just making sure that I have the those combos. I went Final Reckoning followed by Divine Toll, and then I'm going to transition into my Holy Spenders. I have 8 seconds to get a good power womp in, and that's what I like. So anyways, thanks for watching. Hit me up with questions if we want to discuss it. I'll be happy to help you. And like I said, I've been specializing this expansion in other content. So I've been working Priest a lot and Druid a lot. So, and not so much my Paladin, who's just kind of been on the back burner, and I kind of play him every now and then. So I hope that helps. And have a wonderful day. Catch you later.